Hi, you guys. Lady ReShell here. Excuse me. Author of Take Charge of Cancer, founder of Warriors Talk, where we empower individuals to take action that leads to a healthier lifestyle. I can't believe that we are still in our 31 days, 31 facts in recognition of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And this is day 30. And tonight we're going to talk about survivors supporting survivors. So, first of all, thank you guys for just hanging with me for the last 30 days as I push to just educate the community on breast cancer and cancer awareness information. And we go a step beyond awareness and we encourage you to take action. So, tonight, again, we're going to talk about survivors supporting survivors. And if you know a survivor, then tag them in this video and share out with anybody who may benefit from this information. Know that I appreciate you supporting the Warriors Talk brand as we push forward to go a step beyond our mission. So again, 30 days, and this is survivors supporting survivors. First off, we need to define what a survivor is. And according to the American Cancer Society and the National Cancer Institute, they consider a cancer survivor at the time of diagnosis. So whenever it is that you received your diagnosis, that's when you became a survivor, right? And some people like to say they was a survivor after they completed treatment, or they was a survivor after they completed their surgery. But it's documented that you became a survivor the day that the doctor gave you your diagnosis. So I found my own lump in November of 2013, November 1st, 2013. But it wasn't verified and documented by a doctor that it was breast cancer until December 18th of 2013. So that is my survivorship day. So anybody who's diagnosed with breast cancer, whatever day that you were diagnosed, that's the day that you became a survivor. And I know that there are some individuals who are dealing with stage 4 cancer, which is a metastatic cancer, and they may feel like because they are still fighting that they are not survivors. But I just said, according to, American Cancer Society, they do consider you a survivor. A lot of them don't like to use that word survivor. Some of them like to use thriver, or they're thriving, and that's fine too. As long as you're still here, that's all that we care about. So just continue to fight. So according to the American Cancer Society, as of January 2019, there's an estimated 16.9 million survivors alive in the United States today. That's approximately 5.0% of the population, right? Doesn't seem like a lot, but that's a lot. And we know that that number is projected to go even higher come 2030. This is what they're projecting, right? They're expecting that number to go to 31.4%, or to going up to 2.2 million. I would love to see that number. That means that more people are alive after treatment. That would be just an awesome thing to have. So I am rooting for that number and beyond, right? We don't want to see anybody die from a cancer diagnosis. We're rooting to pull everybody through, right? So let's talk about how survivors can support other survivors and why it's important for us to support other survivors, right? So the first reason why is because as a survivor, you know firsthand what it's like to experience cancer. And cancer is an experience, right? If you want to call it an experience, but it's an experience that you go through, one that you will never forget, right? This is one where either you own it or you don't, right? Either you're sharing your story or you're not. This experience will be with you for a lifetime. And depending on how you embrace this experience is going to be a good determining factor of where you are mentally, right? So make sure that you're sharing this information out with individuals, right? And individuals who, are newly diagnosed, make sure that you are sharing your story out with them, that you are making sure that you are not keeping the information to yourself, or what you did and what made you feel good or what worked for you. It might work for somebody else. And we know that all cancer diagnoses are different, right? Each cancer diagnosis is different. So the second thing that you need to know, excuse me, you need to know why you as a survivor should support another survivor is because you can be a source of encouragement and hope for that survivor, right? This is when I was going through, I was reaching out to individuals who I know had a cancer diagnosis and who I know had survived. And I was looking for those who had survived, 10 plus years, right? I had this one sister that I would call her in the middle of the night. Like I would call her in the middle of the night. Hey Deanna, thank you for tuning in. I would call this one sister in the middle of the night. Her name was Nina Ross, and I would call her in the middle of the night, and I would just express my fears to her, like what I was going through or what I thought was going to happen. And she would sit on the phone with me, and she would encourage me, and she would give me hope, and then she would tell me, oh, I've been through that already, so don't worry about it, you can get through this. Like, you need that encouragement, and that encouragement, you may not be able to get it from your friends and family like you can get it from somebody who's been through this experience or been through this journey. So be a source of encouragement or a source of hope for somebody else who is newly diagnosed and they're trying to navigate themselves through this crazy life altering experience such as cancer. And we know, again, this experience, it lasts for the rest of your life. So you want to be able to have some sort of hope to know that you're going to make it through as well. So encourage somebody else on their journey. And so the third thing is, excuse me, did I do number 3? Hold on, you guys, I'm sorry. Is you're not alone, right? You don't want to feel like you are on this journey alone, right? You're not alone. So don't feel like that you're here by yourself, right? You have people who've been through it. Again, there's 16.9 million survivors alive today, breast cancer survivors in the world. So you don't have to feel like, oh, I'm in this journey by myself, because you're not. You're not in this journey by yourself, right? Don't be afraid to reach out to somebody. Don't be afraid to share your story with somebody. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable. A lot of times we feel like, I don't want everybody knowing my business. I don't want them knowing my business. I don't want, you feel like if you open up to somebody that, you feel like maybe they're going to, make you feel weak or try to, make you feel some type of way. But no, you're not in this journey by yourself, and you should not be fighting by yourself. And that's the main reason why we always push and advocate for you to get a support system. It's because you cannot fight this battle by yourself. And I don't encourage anybody to. Don't feel ashamed because you have a cancer diagnosis, right? You should not be feeling ashamed. That's the last thing that you should be feeling ashamed. And if anybody is making you feel that way, then you distance yourself from those people. But there's so many survivors out here that's been where you're trying to get to, that has overcome this situation, this experience, and they're living beyond the diagnosis. And so you need to connect with some of those people. Don't be afraid to get in some of these support groups. The support groups are there for a reason. These women are in these support groups and they're vulnerable. They count on these support groups to help get them through. And so you need to know what it is that somebody else has been through, so that you need to know that you are not alone and that you can get through it as well. And number 4, oh God, this is a given. We need each other to survive. Oh my goodness. The song, I think, is by Kirk Franklin. We honestly do. We need each other to survive. Don't ever feel like, again, don't ever feel like you're in this by yourself, because you're not. You should be reaching out to the American Cancer Society. They have a Reach to Recovery program where they can link you up with individuals who has the same diagnosis as you, very similar to the diagnosis that you have, and they will call you and talk to you and answer your questions as many times as you want. So don't feel like you in this by yourself. There are other people out here that's thriving and trying to survive. So don't feel like you by yourself. And I think I already covered this one, is to give somebody hope. Don't make someone feel, and when I say give them hope, hope is you wanting something to happen, right? You wishing that something to happen, and you wishing to be healed. You wishing for this cancer to be gone. So don't be afraid to give somebody hope. If somebody tell you they have cancer, don't be looking at them like, oh girl, I don't know if you're gonna make it, because my uncle just died last week. I know that I survived cancer, but I don't know about the type of cancer that you had, because our stuff is different. No, don't do that. Don't try to make somebody else feel bad now that you're on the opposite side of treatment. Don't do that. Don't do that. You're supposed to be there to build hope. You're supposed to be there as a source of encouragement. How dare you? How dare you be on the opposite side of cancer and you don't want to encourage or give hope to somebody else? And then the next one is each one reach one. We should always be reaching back to someone else to pull them up, to let them know that they can make it, that they can make it. Each one of us should be reaching back. There should be at no time, whenever you see a survivor, it's almost like I just connect with survivors when I hear that they're a survivor. Like if I'm somewhere and it just happened to be mentioned that they're a survivor, I find my way over there and I'd be like, hi, and I'm a survivor too, and we talk and we connect, we exchange numbers, like, because you just never know if that person can be a source of encouragement for you, or you can be a source of hope for that other person. So you should always be reaching out. And I know sometimes you want to be private about, what you're going through. And I'm not saying you have to give all your business out to somebody. No, but you should be reaching out to other people, even if it's just one person that you reach out to that's fighting cancer, that's in the battle, and they're still fighting. They're past that point to where you are. You should be reaching back to help those people. And then number 7, the reason why survivors support survivor, because it's the right thing to do, right? And we always want to make sure that we're doing the right thing. It gives you a sense of accomplishment that you can share your experience with someone, and then you can help them along their journey. And this was the reason why I wrote the book that's being released on November the 1st, was Take Charge of Cancer, is because when I was newly diagnosed, it was so many questions that I had, and I was just running around and I'm all on the internet trying to find these questions, the answer to these questions that I had. And, I was thirsty for information. And a lot of times you feel like you don't want to keep bothering the same person over and over, asking them questions. So I wrote the book because I wanted individuals who were newly diagnosed with cancer to have a resource where they can go to at any time of the day, any hour of the day, where they can read it, and it will give them the answers to the majority of the questions that they have for someone who is newly diagnosed. So helping someone, supporting someone who has a cancer diagnosis is the right thing to do. It gives you a sense of accomplishment, and we all want that as human beings. We all want to have that sense of accomplishment, that, that our time here on earth is doing some good for somebody else, right? So I just want to recognize somebody who has been just a generous person out of her heart. She's a survivor as well. Her name is Dawn Woodring Mosley, and she's donating to other cancer survivors and organizations. And I'm grateful because a lot of times we may not have the money to go out and buy, different items that we want to bless individuals with, when we're putting together our chemo bags, and when we encounter a survivor, or when we put on events. Like I just put on an event, and Dawn was able to donate some items to the event that I can bless the ladies with. Like there are individuals out here that are giving out of the goodness of their hearts because they know what it's like to fight cancer. They know what it's like to be out there surviving, and they know what it's like to have an organization when you want to bless someone, but you don't have the money to do it. So I'm grateful for Dawn for just having this big heart of gold to bless the different organizations with items so that we can bless other people. So I'm grateful for you, Dawn. And I know she doesn't put her business out there like that. She does it from behind the scenes, but I just wanted to give her a plug and say thank you so much from Warriors Talk. I appreciate you for your kindness, your compassion, your generosity to help and support other survivors and those who are going through. So, Dawn, I salute you on today as a survivor supporting survivors. So, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in to the 31 days, 31 facts in recognition of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And again, today our show was survivors supporting survivors. I ask that you please like, share the show, invite someone else in on the show so that they will get this valuable information, right? We want to make sure that individuals are walking away empowered and they're walking away with knowledge so that they can make better decisions. When you have the knowledge, you have power. So that's why knowledge is power. So I appreciate you guys for just hanging with me for these 30 days. Tomorrow is day 31, and I'm excited about that. And again, November 1st, my book is going to be released, Take Charge of Cancer, Empowering the Warrior Within, which is for newly diagnosed individuals with cancer, to help answer some of the questions that they may have and help them navigate through this horrific disease known as cancer. And remember, cancer is it's a word, it's not a sentence. And it's, remember, I always say that, we give cancer too much power. We do. We give it so much power that we allow it to just overwhelm us. But cancer is not a death sentence, but it is an awakening to live your best life. So this is author of Take Charge of Cancer, founder of Warriors Talk, where we empower individuals into action for a healthier lifestyle. So see you tomorrow for day 31.